All right. Been looking forward to this little conversation today after a day of well-deserved rest and no communication and no talking and no phones and no nothing. The folks at the Pro Football Hall of Fame deserved a day of peace and quiet yesterday. So we waited till today, 24 hours later, to reach out and bug them. Rich Desrosiers, kind enough to join us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Rich, good afternoon, and I hope that I hope your R&R yesterday was well worth it.
Sam, I don't know where you're getting your intel.
Uh-oh. Please don't tell me you were working yesterday.
Oh, all day.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm not trying to be a martyr, but most of us went straight into Black College Football Hall of Fame Classic mode because that is this month. We can't even say it's coming in September, even if it was September 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, like it's been the last couple years.
That's true.
Labor Day is the 1st, so our game is August 31st. So a lot of us are hunkered down. Came right in yesterday, got busy. Got busy today with some meetings about the Classic, and a lot of us are going to take Friday off, though.
Please do.
So the day of rest didn't come yet. We're going to probably take Friday off.
See, I thought that was or if I would have known that, Rich, I'd have bugged you yesterday if I'd have known you were working.
We'd have gotten right after it, but that's it. Now, listen, I may have been here, but I'm not sure that I would have been very sharp. I'm not sure I'm very sharp typically, but yesterday was probably even worse. So this may be better.
Well, I'm glad you could carve out some time today. I forgot about the big events coming up, and of course, you're just coming off the craziness that is the Pro Football Hall of Fame Festival and the enshrinement and everything that went on. What I wanted to have you on today, Rich, was let's kind of do a little review here, and maybe even some stuff that you guys talked about in your post meetings yesterday or even into today. As you look back 2025, how did it go? Was it nice and smooth? Were there some kinks? Were you able to take care of those quickly? And as you take a look back, what did you really love about this last festival, and what are some things that you'll always be trying to improve and make better?
Yeah, I think you set that up really well. There's always things that are going to pop up. There's always things when you're doing your Monday morning quarterbacking that you think, boy, we could have done. If we'd have done this, it might have been a little better. But this year, compared to any other, I think we came in on that Monday morning really feeling good. Some of that is just because you're not dealing with the torrential downpour like we had that delayed the enshrinement 2 years ago or a year ago, two enshrinements ago now. The game between the Bears and the Texans was cut short because of weather. The enshrinement was like biblical rain at the beginning, and so we had to go into kind of a triage mode there. So a lot of why this year was really enjoyable and good and smooth is because when you can deal with 78 and sunny or 80 and sunny, it just helps. But just some things that we did, a couple things that we did differently that were just, I thought, fantastic this year was the Hall of Famer walk on the campus on Friday morning. I mean, the hundreds of people, I think that we estimated the crowd at somewhere maybe around 1,100 people were lined up to watch the Hall of Famers process down George Halas Drive to the front steps of the original hall to get their team photo taken. That was spectacular. The Pat McAfee show on Thursday, even though Thursday was drizzling from early morning until about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, he was a trooper. He and his team stuck it out, and we had several hundred people on campus to watch that. And then Fan Fest, the 4-day Fan Fest, the AM side and the FM side with your team were a big part of that. And that was incredible. I mean, there were hundreds, thousands of people on this campus who hadn't experienced anything quite like that, and maybe hundreds from this general area who hadn't been over to the Hall of Fame in years, if ever, and to get a take. All right, what is this? So that I think was a big success. All in all, it was a wonderful weekend. It was an incident-free weekend. The people of Canton really celebrated here responsibly, respectfully, paid the right reverence to the new class. And I thought the speeches were really good. We had no idea what we were going to get from Sterling Sharp because he didn't know. He told it. He flat out told us, I'm not writing a speech in advance. I'm going to wing it. I'm going to wait and see what I hear from what some other people say or how the weekend kind of inspires me. And he took some experience from Thursday night, Friday night. Some of what he followed Jared Allen, kind of played off of what Jared said a little bit. I talked to Sterling on Sunday and I said, that was too good. You had to have planned that. And he said, well, I knew how I was going to start it. And I knew how he said, I knew I was going to end it with my brother, but I did fill in all of the middle, just kind of on the fly there. And he's he's been on television a lot. He's a pro and he did a pro's job. And so I thought the 4 speeches were really good. I think they really reflected kind of how the guys are in real life. No one put on a performance. That Jared was Jared, Sterling was Sterling, Eric was Eric, and Antonio was Antonio. And I think you got the real them, the real version of them with their speech. So I think we're gonna look back at and say that 2025 really set the bar high.
I think so too. And you know what? I know the crowds were down a little bit, but that could be for a myriad of reasons. It was only a class of 4. Okay. So that means fewer fans and family and friends and that coming that way. But I thought that the Fan Fest, and not because we were involved, but I think, Rich, the next 2 or 3 years, that could become like the epicenter of a lot of the activities because look at all the great things that are going on right across the walkway at Tom Benson, whether it's the concert, the game, the enshrinement, and you're going to have that Fan Fest to kind of draw people before an event, during an event, after event.
Right.
People just want to hang out there just for the heck of it, and it's a great place to people watch, to talk about football, to meet new people from all over the world. I thought that was fantastic, and I also thought that, the way things went off without a hitch for the most part, I think is always important from a local, regional, national perspective. I heard Brett Musburger today. He was on Dan Patrick's show. He was praising Canton, praising the Hall of Fame, how great it was the weekend that he was here and received his Pete Rozelle Award and just naming people from the city in the Hall of Fame. And I said, hey, man, you can't put a price on that kind of exposure. And I thought I thought everybody really shined.
No question about it. And in just even some small subtle things that we were able to do, like we in the chamber each played small roles in helping to bring Jane Kennedy to town. Yes, and she attended the fashion show, and then she attended the dinner and actually handed Brent his plaque, and he had no idea she was going to be there. We were able to keep that a surprise, and just we're sort of in the business of putting smiles on people's faces, and to see the smile on Brent's face and the kind of twinkle in his eye when he heard Jane's name, announced, and she stepped up there. That was very cool. And just, you don't know exactly how those things are going to come off sometimes. And excuse me, I heard a number today that I didn't even know. We had 56 Hall of Famers who spent time out at FanFest as part of the weekend. And so, we said all along, if you come to FanFest, you're going to have an opportunity to see and meet Hall of Famers. And not that we ever said that, not believing it was going to be true, but I didn't think it was going to be 56 guys all of a sudden saying, I want in on this. I'll go, I'll go out there. I think when we said that, we knew we had a firm commitment from about 12 or 14 guys. Hey, we can say legitimately, and you have a chance to meet a Hall of Famer. 56 is what that number ended up being of guys who spent time either on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. McAfee himself hung around for 3 hours after his show, signing autographs, taking pictures with people, and then he went over to the game. Just a lot of reason. And like you said, Sam, it's great when the city of Canton, the state of Ohio, Northeast Ohio, can be on national news for all the right reasons. And this area got a ton of positive publicity over the weekend.
It sure did. Rich Desrosiers, our guest from the Pro Football Hall of Fame here, 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show. Hey, I thought the concert, I did not go to the concert, but I knew a lot of people that went, and they shared their videos and comments and things. They thought that Nickelback just crushed it, knocked it out of the park. And then a little surprise at the end of the performance, naming Lainey Wilson to be the Concert of Legends for next year. And from what I understand, you know more than I do, tickets are going very quickly for that show. And it looks like you got another home run already there for next year.
We hope so. I mean, that was the plan of, if you're going to go down that path and take the chance of, announcing something at 10:30 on a Sunday night is very unconventional.
Mm-hmm.
But the audience that was there responded with, it wasn't like someone scored a touchdown and 14,000 people were cheering the touchdown, but there was clearly some buzz in the stadium right away, and overnight Sunday into Monday. And then again into today, you're right. Those ticket sales have been very strong in the first 48 hours or so. But I do want to go back to something you said. I am personally a fan of neither. I didn't know who Mitchell Tenpenny was before 6 weeks ago, and have never really been a big fan of Nickelback. Familiar with some of their super mega hits. Man. That show was the stage, the theatrics on the stage, the lights, the lights, the sounds, everything that went into the show was really good, and I thought the sound was amazing. I had somebody email me and said that they didn't think the sound was real good in the upper reaches of the stadium, and maybe they were in a corner where the sound did some funny things or something. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but I was down on the floor and my ears were pinned back. I mean, that sound was just filling that bowl, and it's pretty cool to see about 15,000 people get excited when they came out for the encore. And then hang around, right when they cleared the stage, then Lainey popped up on the video screen and made the announcement. She said, hey, I'm coming to Canton next year. So, August 9th, she'll be here, and we hope to fill the stadium again.
If you don't mind me asking, when did you guys know that Lainey was going to be a go before she actually, came up on the big screens?
I'd say maybe a week.
A week or so.
Okay. Yeah, it was very quick. Came together really quick. When we knew it could come together that quickly, it wasn't originally the idea of could we announce it, in conjunction with the close of the 25 concert. That wasn't the original reason to kind of get that moving. Mm-hmm. It was, hey, here's somebody who's really moving the needle on the charts, in everything she's touching right now is red hot, and just wanted to get a pen on paper, get signatures on a paper when she expressed interest in doing this. It's like, she wants to do it. That's the kind of act we're looking for. Let's lock it down. And then it became, okay, we can lock this down. Basically at the time this weekend's wrapping up, what if we then that second shoe kind of dropped. We can announce this to some people who are going to be, announce it first in the stadium to people who, might be like-minded, people who bought tickets to one concert might be interested in buying them next year already. Absolutely. So that kind of, it came together very quickly. I want to, I'll give a shout out to her team. They became very enthusiastic about that idea as well. And, you asked how quickly some things came together. I think it was Sunday morning when the video that was shown by her announcing the concert, when that, the final version of that came together, on Sunday. So it really wasn't until Sunday that we knew we had all the parts to do it the way we envisioned.
Well, I would say it worked out fairly well. Rich, I got time for one more, and just a little quick peek ahead to next year. I know you guys have been looking at the candidates for the class of 2026, and oh man, there's going to be a lot of people in Canton next year, and Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, right off the top of my head, Frank Gore, Des Bryant, Greg Olson, Phillip Rivers. There's a lot of guys that didn't get in this year that are going to get another look. I think you're going to have a full boat next year. What do you think?
It's not appropriate for me to specifically name names, but as you said, there were some guys who were first year eligibles this year who just missed. Adam Vinatieri, all-time leading scorer, Eli Manning, two-time Super Bowl champion, Luke Kuechly. He did everything. That he had a shorter career, but the voters now are less, what's the word I want? Less critical of guys who had shorter careers if they were excellent in the number of years they played. And I think that's part of the reason Sterling got another look. We've seen recently that guys who played 7-8 years, if they were the best at their position in those 7-8 years, have been getting in here in the last handful of years. Sterling Sharp, Terrell Davis, Tony Boselli being some of those guys who had shorter careers, albeit spectacular, in the years they played. So, somebody like I think Kuechly's just a matter of time. I think Eli Manning is just a matter of time. Vinatieri's just a matter of time. You got those three. You've got, like you said, and then some of those other first year eligibles. Drew Brees is definitely getting in. If it's, I think everybody knows that may not be the first year, because I think a few people were surprised Eli wasn't the first year. So, but Brees is in a different stratosphere. Larry Fitzgerald, top 3 all-time receiver, things like that. So I think we're looking at a pretty impressive. The resumes of the class of 2026 are going to be right up there with probably any other year.
Yeah, I would agree. I think next year is going to be one of the best in the history, I think, and I know you guys are looking forward to it. And I'm giving the word now. Everybody can have Friday off at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Rich, you do the same, and we appreciate you coming on today. It was another tremendous festival, great exposure, a lot of great memories were made as usual, and we're looking forward to keeping our relationship and our partnership rolling along, and keep doing your thing over there at George Hallis Avenue.
Thank you for having me, and thank you, volunteers that make this all possible.
You bet. Thanks, Rich. Appreciate you.